Hi guys, so today I'm talking to you about the political scale. The political scale is what we do to identify the difference between different political ideologies or different political parties. In most cases, most political parties fit in the middle of the political scale, and that's because they are neither extreme, they don't follow very strict ideas, and normally those that stick within the middle of the political scale are those that have more than one party that are within the state, so a country with more than one party that can actually run for office. That's generally those who stay in the middle. On the extreme ends of the political scale, we have two different groups. We have the right wing and the left wing. Strangely enough, the right wing and the left wing are on the right side of the political scale and on the left side of the political scale. So if we start with the left wing first and then compare it to the right wing, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. So those who lean more towards the left wing of politics are the ones who believe that the nation is strong because everyone works together to make it a stronger nation. So countries where people are encouraged to work, people are encouraged to identify areas in which needs development, they're left-wing countries. On the other side of the scale, we have the right-wing countries, and those are the countries that believe that the individual is strong because the nation is strong. So what they do is they build up things like the military in order to make sure that the nation is as strong as it can possibly be. Both left-wing and right-wing political parties are attempting to make their country great. However, they're doing it in a slightly different way. So left wing cares more about the individual than the nation, because when individuals are happy, the nation will be happy, whereas right wing are looking more at the nation and deciding that people will be happy when their nation is happy. So it's kind of like flipped backwards. Alright, if we look at left-wing politics, most left-wing parties actually established that all men are equal, and women too, but this is going back 100 years when women didn't have the right to vote. So under a left-wing society, all men are equal. It doesn't matter what job you do, you perform something, a vital service for the society, therefore you're as important as everyone else. On the other side of the coin, right-wing politics actually believe that all class systems are acceptable. It's perfectly okay to continue the feudal system. There are people who have much more important jobs than others, and it's okay to maintain that. So there's a slight difference, or not just a slight difference, there is a fairly big difference there. Politically, left-wing politics generally believe that government control is not needed, and that actually comes back to the social aspect. If all men are equal, you don't actually need anyone to control you because you'll all work together to make the society great. You don't need a government to tell you what to do. On the other side of the coin, right-wing governments generally believe that a strong government is needed to make sure that the nation remains strong. So in right-wing countries, you normally have maybe one political party who's actually in charge, and at the head of that political party you have a dictator, or at least an autocratic ruler, someone who is very strong with their ideas and the focus that they see for their country. When you look at the economic policies of left-wing and right-wing countries, left-wing generally have believe that capitalism actually promotes class systems. Capitalism is the type of economy that we live under, where we all work for our money, and because of that we can buy different things. What communism believes is that money shouldn't exist. If you want something, then you should barter for it. So in that case, a bunch of carrots is as worth as much as a chicken if you really want a chicken. A chicken is as worth as much as a house if you really want a house. So the economic system of left wing and is a little bit different to what we understand. By removing the capitalist system, it actually the people who are more on the left wing believe that what will be produced is a workers' utopia where all people are treated equally because their job is just as important as everyone else's. On the other side of the coin, you have the right-wing political systems where they believe that a strong economy supports a strong nation, and therefore they actually promote capitalism by allowing people to establish their own businesses, to work hard for their money and buy whatever they want at the end of it. It will actually promote the economy, and therefore the government and the nation will become stronger. Militarily, left-wing governments generally believe that you don't actually need a military because everyone's going to be working together to make everyone happy anyway. Right-wing, however, again believes a strong military will make a strong nation, and so therefore they're more militaristic than left-wing. If you look at the left-wing and right-wing examples that we have throughout history, we have on left-wing we have Joseph Stalin, who was the leader of communist Russia, and on the right-wing we have Adolf Hitler, who was the leader of Nazi Germany. If you look towards the centre though, this is where Australia generally lies, and as well as America. So if we look at, first of all, Donald Trump is more to the right side of the centre. He is militaristic, he does promote lots of business and lots of economic policies that are more right-wing policies. And if you look at someone like Malcolm Turnbull, same deal, he's very much about promoting the economy over necessarily promoting public works. If we go more towards the centre, that's where you find someone like Barack Obama, who needs the support of a traditional American society who believes in right-wing politics, but has also tried to promote things like Obamacare, which is like the American version of Medicare. So under Obama, they started implementing public systems which was to support people in order to make their lives better, which in turn would make the country better. On the left side of centre, we have Julia Gillard. She is she was the Prime Minister of Australia, who was responsible for things like the Building Education Revolution, which is why we have a new home ec centre, a new art centre, a new tech centre. Because of the Building Education Revolution, the government injected money into the economy in order to stimulate it, and because of that they ended up building a whole heap of stuff around schools, which was supposed to benefit everyone. So if you look at that, the right wing of politics, so Donald Trump, Malcolm Turnbull, they're the ones who actually control the economy by saving money more so than spending money. The money that they save is normally spent on things like the military, which is used to defend the country, whereas on the other side, Julia Gillard and Barack Obama are those who are investing into the country by spending money on public works. Both sides need to exist, and when they do exist in the way that they do in Australia, it actually works really well. So the left side, which is normally the Labor government, gets voted in. They spend money on public works like roads and hospitals and schools, and then the right wing come in, they start rolling back. They end up saving a lot of money, which then can be reinvested later down the track. So if we look at the easiest way to remember the difference between left wing and right wing, what you need to actually remember is that Hitler's always right and communism gets left behind. And the reason why you actually remember that is because Hitler is the right wing, and as is Mussolini, who was a fascist leader in Italy. And on the left wing you have communist Russia and communist China. It's just a really simple way of remembering which side is which. So Hitler's always right, communism's always left behind. If we look again, just recap the differences between them. So on the left wing we have, which are the examples of communist Russia and communist China, military is not necessarily the key to control. Capitalism promotes class systems, and so therefore they think that it's not a good idea, because under a communist system or a left-wing system, what people believe is that all men are equal, and that the nation is stronger when people start working together. Because they're working together, there isn't real harsh political control needed by the government. On the other side of the coin, there's a right wing, which is fascist Italy and Nazi Germany, which are the most prominent examples in history, where we have a strong military relates to a strong nation. A strong economy creates a strong nation, and therefore capitalism should be promoted. They believe that class systems are acceptable because it encourages, capitalism encourages people to be stronger and work harder for their country, and because those who are individually strong will make the country stronger. Politically, they believe that a strong government results in a strong nation. There is a slight difference between left wing and right wing. I understand that if you get a little bit confused about it, but if you're talking about Hitler, remember he's always right. If you're talking about communist Russia, remember they get left behind. Okay, so left and right, that is the difference.